begin with the Chazorah, just general overview of the Maimer of Tzena U'Rienah. And that is so the Maimer began by bringing two midrashim. The first midrash on the pasuk, go out and see daughters of Tzia and the Mela Shlomo, the crown, his mother crowned him on the day of his Chasana, the day of the Simchas Liboy. So, first medrash, this is referring to Hashem, Mother's Knesset Yisrael, Chasana is Matan Torah. So, Yidden gave Hashem a crown on Matan Torah. Another medrash from Kedoshim talks about 3 crowns, right? And 1 crown the king takes, and 2 he puts upon the citizens. So, putting the 2 midrashim together, which is what the Maimer does and explains, that the first medrash, now in hindsight, the first medrash speaks about 1 crown. Why? Because that's referring specifically to the kav of avodah, which is malamata lamayla. There are 3 kavim. The other 2 he puts upon his children, mamshech, the downward movement, that's malamayla lamata, that is Torah and milas chasadim. So the Maimer explained why the symbolism here, the metaphor is a crown, because the whole point is that the avodah bi b'chol ma'itcha b'yonim.
Don't forget to record.
More specifically, karbonis,
don't forget to record.
Karbonis, which turns out to be the one that Eibishter puts upon his own hit kavayochel. So the end of tefillah is, on the one hand, it's arza that then reaches shamayma, as the Maimer explained. And that tefillah a Yid connects all these very important and classic quotes. The Sifri, Eilav v'lo l'midosav, to him, not to his attributes. And then the teaching of the Rivosh, Ani mispalo l'daze atinik, that a Jew is to say that he davens like a child, notwithstanding all the kavanas, but he davens like a child, which means beyond all seichel, a direct connection to Atzmos. He explained the word tefillah means to attach, from the Mishnah in Kalim. He explained the word tefillah also means secondary. The Yid becoming completely bottled to the Eibishter. So this is all the avodah of a Torah. The Keser. Now, Torah Gvilas Chasodim, also l'maylim medidav agbola, and that is that the Torah connects the highest Shemayim with others. Likewise, mitzvahs, which is represented by Gvilas Chasodim, mitzvahs are not simply God's instructions to us, but dvarov, chukov, mishpatov. What he does, he tells us to do. So that's what we're being mamshem, mitzvahs Hashem. Moreover, the Magid's word that the Yid brings vitality to the mitzvah, which means that what he reveals in the mitzvah is not just the commandment, but the master of the commandment, the Baal HaRotzim. Explained, of course, what that means is that the mitzvah is all about the connection to God, the relationship. The distinction between Torah and Gemilas Chasadim is that Torah is both. Torah, on the one hand, is Milamayla Lamata, but Torah is compared to fire, and fire also invokes the imagery of Milamata Lamayla. Indeed so, because in Torah, there is simply not the mind. Very simply, it's Hashem's words, but we're learning it. We have to understand it and even contribute to it. But the words of the Maimer is, in order to learn, it's connected to what I just said, a person that is the avoid of the suspension of the ego in order to really get what Torah is saying and to get his own prejudice out of the way. Likewise, he adds, is also the whole process of learning is from the kal and hakoved, the simpler to the more complex, from the prat, from the detail to the cloud. Hence, Torah is unlike Milas Chasodim, and it stands alone because it has both in Yonim. Lamata lamayla, lamayla lamata. Why is Torah put Torah Avodah and Gemilas Chasadim. It should have been grouped, since it shares something in common with Gemilas Chasadim. It should have been Avodah first, then Torah Gemilas Chasadim. The answer is Torah begins everything, because everything derives from Torah. Without Torah, you don't know what Avodah is or Gemilas Chasadim. Especially the Torah is the blueprint of all of creation. So the source of everything is Torah. So that answers why Torah is first, and then Avodah, and then Gemilas Chasadim, even though Gemilas Chasadim should have come after Torah. Right? It's first. Why not put Gemilas Chasadim then? It'll still be first. This Bible doesn't really answer. Why doesn't it say Torah, Gemilas Chasadim, and Avodah? Because he wants to bring out the Chiddush. He wants to bring out the Chiddush of Torah. Torah also has the Avodah of Avodah Malamata Lamayla. Okay, so conclusion. The last part of the mind is this is all the connection to Matan Torah. The whole point being that all of these three Avodas are done in a way which is beyond limit. That's the point of Matan Torah, the dissolvement of the natural division between Maila and Mata. And that explains why 3 dominates the whole theme of Torah, all the details of that, because 3 is which transcends both 1 and 2, 1 being transcendence, 2 being division or immanence, presentness in a fractured world, and 3 is the fusion of both. And that's reflected in all of the components of Torah, including Moshe Rabbeinu being the third born. That answers also why it must come, Torah must come dafka after Yetzias Mitzrayim, because Yetzias Mitzrayim is all about the breaking of boundaries, and that is the template, the solid foundation of Matan Torah. Much more detail about Yetzias Mitzrayim, but that was the general idea. I've already answered why he takes 1 crown, because that's the crown which is Malamata Lamayla, which we, as it were, offer God. We pointed out in the way that's the most precious, but that's exclusively our contribution, as opposed to Torah which he gave, and Gemilas Chasadim, the things that he has granted us. So this all in conclusion is Tzena U'Rienah, go out and see. In order to see that the true Riyan Elikus, the true connection with godliness, has to be Tzena, to go beyond the boundaries, and then one merits U'Rienah on a personal level, on a collective level as well, when Varokal Basar, all flesh will see the Eibishter. And we will learn Torah in the way of Riyah as we learned 2 Maimarim ago. So that's a general overview of the Maimon. No substitute for learning it many times inside, which I hope everybody will do. Everybody has the next Maimon, Vata Yigdal. Yep, let's begin. So this is Parsha Shlach, Varchim HaChedesh Tmuz, Tavshin Chaf. So we all know the story. Hashem threatens to destroy the Yidden, and Moshe responds and argues and says, if you do that, it'll be a Chilul Hashem. And then he concludes, Va'ata, now, Yigdal na koyach Adnai. May the power of God's name, of God, Adnai, be magnified or expanded. Kashke dibarta lemar, as you said, I should say. And he goes on to invoke the 13 Gimel Midas Harachamim, thereby eliciting Hashem's forgiveness. So the Maimon focuses on what does this mean by that the koyach of Adnai, the koyach of God should be Yigdal, magnified, expanded. So it says in Zayah, with respect to this, Taninom we learned in the Gemara. Gemara says in Shabbos, so there it says that anyone who answered Yehei Shmei Rabba, may the great name of God be blessed, and he says that with all of his strength. Actually says it means with all of his intent. Taisvus brings an opinion that says it actually means physically, he's saying it loud. At any rate, so the Gemara there says that a decree, even a decree that has been issued against him, will be torn up. And then the Zohar actually says, in another place, he goes on to say now, Even if a degree was such that for the next 70 years, which is a very powerful degree, this is what the person's lot is going to be, which basically means his life, 70 years being the symbol of a person's life, even that can be torn up and be written, as it were, when the Yid says, Yehi Shmei Rabba, with all of his kaya. So this the mind is going to explain. Pirush HaRamez, the Ramez, Rabbi Moishe Zakuta, famous Pirush in the Zohar says, Posik Zeh, this Posik, Vata Yigdal no Kaya, Vata Yigdal no Hashem, expand your name, magnify your name, Kosik Betfilas Moishe. This was said, it's written in the context of Moshe Rabbeinu's prayer. Can you hear me? What's all is not disturbing this.
We can hear you, Rabbi. As a matter of fact,
the
birds are accompanying you in glorifying God's
name. I'm not
name.
getting any response at all. Hello.
Rabbi, as a matter of fact, the birds are accompanying you in glorifying God's name.
Because people aren't muted. People are not muted.
The whole story of the Meraglim, and Hashem said, how much longer will they provoke me? He said the 10th time already, as we'll see. So says the Ramez, what did Moshe Rabbeinu say? Ad ona. So I just translated now as how much longer God is speaking, they provoke me. But that word honor is the most unusual word. We'd expect the pasuk to have said, God quoting Hashem, ad mosai. How much longer? Doesn't say that. It says ad honor, and the difference being Shalei om ad mosai. Hashem didn't say how much longer will they provoke me. Shemeir al erich zman, which would indicate this is going on and on in terms of time. Not so. Aval om ad ona. He said literally till where? Where is space, not time? Shuhu al hem shechisrach v'smokem. He's saying this is a lot of space they're taking up. Space. What does he mean by space? Why does he invoke the word honor, not the word admosa? Explains the Ramez on the Zayar, ki kvar sholmo asora avedes, because they've paid up literally. They've already done 10 sins. This was the 10th complaint, the 10th sin, 10th rebellion. And what's the significance? Shal yodom pogmo. They have now blemished basara sfiris hamalchus. All the 10 sfiris, as they are present in malchus, which is the space literally, which receives the keli for all of the sfiris above it. They blemished the place, the spiritual place. What's the spiritual place? That is Sfiris HaMalchus, the attribute of Malchus. And Hashem is saying they've done this, how much? They've, all of it. The whole in all of the levels of Malchus, now with this 10th sin, they've blemished all 10 aspects of Malchus, which is metaphorically space, as we'll still explain presently in a moment, at least briefly. Let's conclude the sentence. That's why Hashem says, till where, literally, till where will this provocation go? It's already reached. It's reached the limit, huh? There's nowhere to go. They've corrupted, they've reached the limit of corrupting the entire space. What space? The space of Malchus, my kingship, my sovereignty. Which other place now will they blemish, will they corrupt, when they've already corrupted it all? So just a word about this, because this is exactly what we're learning about now in Tanya Sharichad V'Emunah. We're going to the next chapter. That the name Adonai, which means Lord, which is the term invoked here by Moshe Rabbeinu, Yigdal Nokoyach Adonai. So Lord, of course, means a lord over subjects. So Adonai is synonymous with Malchus, kingship, sovereignty. The whole notion of sovereignty implies otherness, being king over subjects. And so it implies otherness. It implies, as the pasuk says, Malchus, Malchus, your sovereignty extends to all, even down here to this world of division. So
Wait,
therefore,
David, could you mute
Malchus
yourself,
has
please?
these 10 dimensions, the 10 spheres, all
Rabbi,
located in this metaphoric
Rabbi,
spiritual
if everybody
place,
could just mute themselves.
because Malchus is the source of time and space. Malchus, the Adonai, is the source of time and space. As we all know, Malchus conceals all the divine energies invested in it, and then expresses it in a way that's expressed in the finitude of time and space. So this world is made up of 10 utterances. There are 10 components. The decimal system is such a natural way to classify the world because it's made up of, it's a consequence of 10 attributes. And there are 10 literally physical components. Yes, physical components that make up the world, which are a reflection of the 10 attributes of the soul. Bottom line, we're talking here about description, limit, time and space, which Malchus is responsible for, because that's what God desires. He wants to be king over this world. So all to say now, Hashem says that with this sin now of the rebellion of the spies, so you have corrupted it all. You have blemished every aspect of the world, of your world and the world at large, through these 10 sins. And that's blemished my attribute of Malchus, my investure in creation. As I am invested in creation, you've blemished the world and blemished me in all of the 10 components, which are the template of all of existence. We clear?
Yes, Rabbi.
So that's what's happened as a result of the sin. So Moshe Rabbeinu is now going to rectify that. This is, we'll soon, at the end, the Heshmei Rabbo, the power of the Heshmei Rabbo, how appropriate that we're learning this Maimah, which is the first time that we're coming back to Shul, to MTC, to answer the Heshmei Rabbo, to hear Kaddish. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu's Olav HaShalom said. V'ata, now he's imploring and pleading, and he's saying, V'ata Yigdal na koyach. Now he needs to invoke this expansiveness, a revelation within Malchus that is broad and expansive beyond the natural state of Malchus, the manifestation of Malchus, which has been blemished and corrupted through the transgressions. And specifically, let's look at the word that he uses. This is very Kabbalistic. The mind will explain it all. Yigdal no koyach Adonai, he said. May the power of Adonai be now expanded. The space expanded, fixed. What's koyach? He goes on to say, Yigdal koyach shel. Yigdal koyach shel. The word's koyach is chav, ches. So it refers to keser and chachma. What he's doing now is, this is teshuvah, is drawing into Malchus. This is technical, friends, at this point, I understand. But let's learn the geography, the levels, and then understand it, God willing. So what is happening? Drawing the level of keser and chachma, shetevus koyach, the hoyet, that should illuminate, fix, and illuminate Hashem Adonai, the name Adonai, which is the level of Malchus. So quite simply, in geographic, technical terms, drawing into Malchus, Keser and Chachma, Koyach. I know that means to say, in order to fix the blemish in time and space, so you can't tinker with time and space itself. That's done. That's corrupted, gone. You've got to draw in a higher place where the blemish, higher than the blemish, where the blemish didn't affect, and it's from there to draw down this new pristine light that will fix the blemish. Malchus, you have to draw on a level that is higher than place, higher than Malchus. As we said, that's the koyach, the drawing down of Chacham and Keser. And further detail, for Inyan, Yud. No, we mean Mamish, the transcendent level of Keser. And Chacham, which is relatively also transcendent. All is relative. Chachma, I'm going to go into detail of the Maimar will, but Rebbe says in Tanya that the source of the neshama is chachma datzilis. That's complete bittul to God. No sin can really blemish there. That's where Mesiras Nefesh comes from. Kesed is even a higher level. That's the deep rotzen. Let's go further. V'inyan yud v'koytze shal yud. Chachma is yud of Yud Kei Vav Kei. We know the Yud Kei Vav Kei is 4 letters. Yud is chachma, hey is bina, Vav is the 6 midas, and the final hey is malchus. So Yud is Chachma, and Koitza Sheyud, the stroke on the Yud, is Kesed. So by drawing on the levels of Kesed and Chachma into Malchus, thereby Malchus is cleansed. We're talking about Tshuva, friends. We're getting now the Kabbalah of Tshuva, and then we'll explain it. This is what fills the blemish and the gaping holes that are in Malchus. There's 2 words here, pagam, blemish, and chsaron, because it's referring to, it seems, that there's 2 sins. There's the sins of omission, failing to do a mitzvah, I say, that's a chsaron. And then there's a transgression, which it causes a blemish. Right? So that's what mentions the pagam, the blemish, that's because of the lois aseh, and the chsaron, the lack, is the lack of fulfilling a mitzvah, I say. Both of them are filled through drawing on Kesed and Chachma. You have a question, Fishel? No, that's your frozen wave. Okay, sorry. So this is the meaning of that he answers with all his strength. It seems the mind is saying this is the koich we're talking about. That the Jew says not just lip service. If he just says it with his mouth, that's Malchus. Malchus is the parallel of Malchus in the human plane are words. You have to invest in the words that we say. It's got to draw on the level of Kesed and Chachma within our own nefesh. Our deepest will and desire and bittul, as the Maimer, I didn't learn it through yet. I'm assuming we'll explain. But now the focus is by answering Yehei Shmei Rabbah. It's the great name that the Jew is invoking by saying Yehei Shmei Rabbah. Stam name is Malchus. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, the great name is Malchus, as it's connected to and invested with Kesed and Chachma. Shmei Rabbah, the great name, is higher than the system. Kesed and Chachma. Shmei Rabbah Mevarach. So what does he say? May the great name of God be blessed. What does blessed mean? What does it mean we bless God? God blesses us. We're blessing God. Praise, we understand. What does bless mean? So Chassidus says, bless means to draw down. As in the knee, which is a berech, the point by which we come down, we can kneel. As in the breich, a waterfall, water comes down. Lahavrich means to take a plant and plant it into the ground so that it drops roots. So that's the root word. The word berech means to draw down. The level of Shmei Rabbah, which is higher than Ishtalshalus. Tumshach should be drawn down where? To this world and to literally the worlds of worlds, which has many meanings, but there's 3 mentions of Eilam here. In general, it is Bri Yitzirasiyah, drawing from Atzilus, which is relatively transcendent, into Olam and Ol Meil Maya. Shem Klolos Olam, this is all these worlds, Ad Lamatish Be'Lamaza, down to this very world, Shebezeh Tushla, by which we complete a Kavon, the divine intent. Hashem wants a dwelling place in this world to be continued tomorrow, but we get the general idea. Summary, and today's story. Yeah, the summary is that the question is, well, first the Zohar and the Gemara. He's the beginning of the Maim is the Zohar quoting the Gemara, and then again the Zohar. The Zohar says that when a Jew says Yehei Shmei Rabbah with all of his koyach, so then a divine decree that is leveled against him is torn up, and the Zohar adds even for 70 years. What's the greatness of all of this? To explain to Ramesh that the question is, why does Hashem say ad ona yenatsuni. Till where will they provoke me? Till when? Not till where. The answer is that the till where, implying space, is referring to Malchus. Here's the 10th sin already. So this is Malchus blemished and corrupted in all of its components, all of its building blocks, the 10 attributes. That's what sin does. And so Hashem is saying, you've corrupted it all. So now Moshe Rabbeinu is setting in motion the process of Teshuvah. The process of Teshuvah is, as expressed in saying Yehesh Mirabah with all man's koyach. Koyach is Keser and Chachma. That's what fixes the blemishes. To say, that's what invokes not just God's name, which is Malchus, Yehesh Mirabah. It becomes now a great name, as Malchus is suffused with the transcendent levels of Keser and Chachma, and therein all the blemishes and the gaping holes that are being wrought through transgression, through sin, are all fixed. That's the outline. And this comes down Mevorach and Olam Olam Maya down to this world, which is the whole purpose of it all. This will be a dir b'tachtei. Right? The whole maimah is to explain this.